Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful evening here at Harmon Field in Wapakoneta, Ohio, where tonight the Redskins are hosting the Kenton Wildcats. I'm Dan Hirn, along with Paul Sadler. And Paul, both of these teams come in 1-0, and what a great way to start the WBL schedule.
Oh, it's a terrific way with two of the prime contenders for the Western Buckeye League title, starting off right here with the Kenton Wildcats returning a ton of talent from a 6-4 team, and Wapak returning some talent from a 7-3 team. With the way the Western Buckeye League schedule rotates, this was a Week 10 game last year where Wapak was able to prevail at Kenton 28-20 and effectively knock Kenton Wildcats out of playoff contention.
Kenton won the toss and has elected to receive, and as always, when you think of the Kenton Wildcats, you think of offense.
You sure do. We're going to see that offense first with two big-time playmakers at quarterback number 11, senior Grant Sherman, and number 6, senior Justin Sawmiller, his wide receiver, his favorite target.
Heingardner puts the foot into it. It'll be fielded at the 5-yard line, back across the 10 to the 15 to the far side of the field, across the 20, and a lane down the right side of the field, near midfield. Heingardner, one of the last to get there, and finally wrestled down by Keaton Metz after a fantastic return.
And I tell you what, with effective an offense as this is for Kenton, this is not the advantage that they really needed with a short field to start, but I'm sure Coach Mike Malk will take it.
Colin Stoller, the return man there. 65-yard kickoff return. So Kenton's offense led by Grant Sherman, the senior, 6'5", 220. And they run the spread at Kenton, as you probably already know. Fires out left side, caught. Sawmiller will be run out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and Sawmiller picking up right where he left off. Last year he led Ohio in catches, not just the Western Buckeye League, but the state of Ohio in catches. And he had 13 catches last week.
Sherman out of the shotgun again, fires it over right side, caught, and falling after making the catch at the 11-yard line is Matt Barr.
Sherman's pass complete to Connor Jones.
So check that, I believe that was number 8, Connor Jones. And, Sherman will spread it around a little bit, but a big disproportion number will go to Sawmiller as he's trying right there for Colin Stoller, the second leading receiver for this Wildcat team.
This is going to be a big test for the defensive backfield for this Wapakoneta defense.
It sure is. And there's not a whole lot of experience coming back, but week 1 they saw a little bit of passing versus Bell Fountain, but not to the degree they're going to see it this week with Kenton.
Back to pass again, left side, incomplete, intended for Sawmiller again. That's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, timing was just off a little bit on that slant route. Sawmiller wasn't expecting to get it, but there's two Redskins in coverage right there, and this will bring up a key 4th down. As those of you who have not really followed Kenton over the years, a field goal is not in their vocabulary. An extra point is not in their vocabulary.
Right.
So there's no doubt they're going for it on this 4th down.
Five receivers set now. Back to pass, under some pressure. Sherman fires it to the back of the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown.
And that was Matt Barr right there. The big 6'2" senior in the back of the end zone. Sherman had a lot of time back there. There's initial great coverage there defensively, but you're going to give Sherman that amount of time. He's eventually going to find a wide open player. In this case, he did with Matt Barr.
Well, we don't have your camera either.
So the first points of the game coming at the 10:49 mark here in the first quarter.
And that's Sherman's 3rd touchdown pass on the year. Still a far cry for what he had last year when he totaled 49 touchdown passes compared to only 6 interceptions.
He was involved in the scoring of every point in last week's game because he threw 2 touchdown passes, ran for another one, and was sacked for the safety.
It's really hard to be involved when the other team scores.
Right.
But he was able to do in that case.
You're a special player. So they're going to go for 2 here. Sherman with time, looking, lobs it left, and it's caught. over the middle of the field. It's Stoller again.
Yeah, Colin Stoller there with a little double move, finishes it off with a little slant route to be able to get the 2-point conversion. And just a minute 11 into the game, Kenton already to an 8-0 lead.
Well, a quick start for Kenton. They got a great return to start that drive, and they capitalize on it. We'll take a break here. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home, building, and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select certainteed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
Back here at Harmon Field, and a quick 59-second drive put Kenton on the board first. They added the 2-point conversion to make it an 8-0 lead here with 10:49 left in the first quarter. That was a 5-play, 30-yard drive, an 11-yard pass from Sherman to Barr, and a 59-second drive ends with 8 points, Paul. So that's exactly what Kenton wanted to do coming out of the gate.
Yeah, and it really started with short field to begin with, and then obviously a key 4th down conversion. There was a 15-yard penalty on the touchdown, so they've elected to take it on the kickoff, so that's why Kenton is kicking actually from the 45-yard line.
Be Travis Downing out there to put the foot into it. He's got the kick. It's fielded inside the 5-yard line by Wapakoneta, back up the middle of the field to about the 20-yard line. And a return there for Cameron Locke. So we'll get a look at the Wapakoneta offense for the first time tonight. And Paul, they've got a 3-headed backfield that you mentioned last week that is keyed by Zach Schmerge.
He's keyed by Zach Schmerge. He's currently 2nd in the league in rushing with 107 yards. But we really have to mention Adam Henderson, number 20. The junior last week scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air on a reception, and also had a fumble recovery as well as basically the interception that put the game away.
Here's Schmerge off the left side. He picks up a few out to the 24-yard line.
And defensively for Kenton, we really have to focus on number 5, Noah Furbush. The University of Michigan commit will play all over the field. And last week, he had 3 tackles for losses against Coldwater, in which effectively the defense pitched a shutout against, the powerful defending state champion Coldwater Cavaliers.
Now what the officials are trying to decide here. Morgan trotting onto the field.
So while they're kind of getting this sorted out, Kenton kind of plays a unique defense. It's called used to be called the Michigan State Tilt 4-3, and against wing T teams like this, it looks sometimes like a 6-2 defense or a 6-1 defense, depending on how they align. And the big difference is one of the interior defensive linemen will play at a little bit of an angle, and it makes it tough to be able to block him at that angle. This time it's number 45, Silas Smith, playing that.
Morgan back to pass, fires it down the near side, and it's incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Smith.
Yeah, Jared Smith was actually running the corner route right there. Leads the Wapak Redskins right now with 3 receptions, which coincidentally all came on one drive last week at the end of the first half against the Bell Fountain Chieftains. So this brings up a key 3rd down, which Wapak is very adept in to be able to pick up. And their real keys to success is their 3rd down efficiency. They were 7 for 11 last week.
3rd down and 7 now. 2 receivers, 1 to each side, a split backfield, and it looks like they have motion on the offensive line, so that's going to set the Redskins back.
Yeah, they wanted to get off the ball very quickly, but I looked, unfortunately, I think Blake Fanning moved a little bit early there on the left-hand side.
So that's going to make it a third down and a little bit longer.
Procedure penalty on the Redskins will bring up 3rd and 12 after the 5-yard penalty.
So obviously this is not the start that the Redskins would want to be down at 8-0 already and being backed up and facing a big third down play. We'll see. Coach Fry is definitely not going to panic with this. He knows it's a long game, but obviously we'd like to see some success happen on this play.
Morgan will be under center.
It's interesting, Henderson's going to be splitting out. We did not see this from them last week.
And again, I think maybe the play clock didn't move on that. It's still at 25. We'll see if that was the reason that they stopped that.
Yeah, actually, I think they said they want the game clock to be at 10:09. It's about a second off. So a little bit of scoreboard trouble here. You know, this is one of the things you used to see in week 1, but.
Right. Yeah, we didn't have any scoreboard trouble last week.
So again, as I mentioned before, Henderson split out here. Be interested to see if they look for him on this play.
Handoff, and to the right side. Not a lot there. I believe that was Smurgy on the, no, Eaton on the carry. And we talked to Coach Fry. Eaton is going to try to help lessen the load on Smurgy tonight.
Yes, Smurgy and Henderson are basically two-way players, and Eaton's really a one-way player. So, you know, he's going to have some fresher legs, and Coach Fry hopes to get, you know, maybe a few more big plays out of Eaton because of that.
Kick is away by Locke. It will hit and be fielded at the 35-yard line. Stoller trying to escape the red jerseys. He will not. He is wrestled down back inside the 35 at the 33-yard line. So no return on that one. And in fact, he may have gone backwards a couple of yards.
Yeah, and you know, as effective as the kickoff return was, you know, the punt return, you know, the Redskins did a pretty good job covering that. However, you know, the Wildcat crowd was very appreciative of that initial 3-and-out by the defense. This defensive unit last year gave up nearly 30 points a game for Kenton. And this year, you know, they seem to be very, very much loaded with 7 returning starters and just some big-time playmakers, as we will try to highlight throughout the broadcast.
.9:19 left, first quarter. Kenton with the 8-0 lead. And Grant Sherman over talking to coaches on the sideline.
So similar to last week, Bell Fountain played a type of spread offense, but however they always usually had a back in the backfield. But you can play a little bit of a similar setup with about 3 down linemen and then mix up your blitzes against Kenton.
Sherman back to pass, getting some pressure. He unloads it to the right. That one is going to be incomplete off the fingertips of his intended receiver down the right side. And now he's looking for Jones over there on the far side.
Yeah, and really Thomas Shaneline, you know, with tremendous pressure, got the hit on Sherman just as soon as he threw the ball. Sherman actually threw a pretty good ball considering, you know, he was getting hit about as he threw.
Biggest difference between these two teams, between the Bell Fountain team they played last week and this team, as this one goes down the left side. Stoller still on his feet. He'll fall down as he gets to the 31-yard line.
And not to interrupt you, just, you know, with that big of a play, a tremendous job by Justin Sawmiller actually with the block that time. You know, obviously known for being a record-breaking receiver, you know, he was able to collapse the inside to allow Stoller to get big yardage on that bubble screen.
34 yards in the completion as Sherman is back to pass. He rolls out to the right side, getting some pressure. Lobs it underneath, it'll be incomplete. But this Kenton team much more proficient at passing the ball than the Bell Fountain team they saw last week.
Oh, apples and oranges, you know, in terms of execution and talent. You know, Sherman threw for over 4,000 yards last year. As I mentioned, his touchdown to interception ratio, 49-6. You know, surprisingly, Coldwater, you know, it's not surprising because it's Coldwater and they're obviously a very good storied program. But Sherman only threw for 268 yards last week, which is pretty pedestrian for, you know, Kenton offense, and also 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions coming into the game.
This one lobbed out to the right side. He's got a receiver wide open, and it's Barr who skates into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown tonight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, sophomore Ethan Good ended up getting caught, up in a crossing pattern and allowed him to get behind them. And, that's, you're going to get hurt. Sherman's too good. If you get a guy behind you, especially that open, it's going to be an easy 6.
Well, and the depth of the receiver core for this Kenton team is much deeper than what we saw last week as well. Sherman all kinds of time, lobs it left side, and the 2-point conversion to Sawmiller is good. So with 8:56 left here in this first quarter, Kenton has taken control here. They lead it 16-0. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just call on TSC. Part of your community. TSC. It's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
This is man's greatest invention, the Whole House DVR from TSC. You'll never miss a second of your favorite program again because you can pause a show in one room and play it back in another, even while you're recording it. You watch different shows at the same time and pause, fast forward, and rewind from any set. You can even pause live TV. Man's greatest invention, the Whole House DVR from TSC. Just maybe not woman's greatest invention.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
16-0, Kenton with the lead here with 8:56 remaining in the first quarter, and not the game that Coach Fry had scripted to this point.
No, and there's a lot of football to be played, but this hasn't been obviously a very good start for the Redskins.
That ball will kick out of bounds at the 28-yard line, so the Redskins will have pretty good field position to start this possession.
And again, obviously there's a lot of game to be played, and the Redskins are very, very capable of putting their impact on the game by putting together a long drive.
Well, the Redskins would obviously like to take control of the time of possession with a long drive here.
Certainly, and it's really kind of on the shoulders of this offensive line. Again, got a lot of experience last year, returning 4 starters. But Blake Fenning, Wyatt Harrison, Kyle Gonerman, Will Rankin, and Jared Carpenter, really have to step up against this Kenton defense and put some plays together, move the chains, and get some points on the board.
First down and 10 for the Skins at the 35-yard line. And the handoff goes up the middle, but not much there.
That Jack Hale, the big, and I say big, junior, 6'1", 280 pounds, just plugged up that trap.
So second down and 10 as they get back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
So we see Cody Morgan kind of running into the huddle. We might need to see him kind of make some plays here, maybe with his legs, maybe with his arm.
Morgan out to the near side. He's going to be shut down in the backfield for a loss of 3.
And I tell you what, we just saw some Division I speed right there. Noah Furbush was not fooled on that play, and if he didn't have, that incredible of an athlete chasing him, he had a lot of room around the outside. But Furbush just read the play, had tremendous instincts, and was able to dart in and get a loss on the play.
So another third down and 12 situation on consecutive drives here for the Redskins. Obviously not where they want to be. Back to pass, under pressure again is Morgan. He's still under pressure as he gets to the near side, lobs it up the near side of the field, and it's going to be intercepted in Redskin territory at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and that's Trevor Downing. Last year, he was a WBL honorable mention player, had 4 picks last year, and this is his first pick of the year for Kenton. And it's all Wildcats here early in the first quarter. Cody Morgan was running for his life on the right-hand side. Furbush was on his tail and actually did make the hit after he threw it. And it's going to be the first turnover of the game, and Kenton with great field position again.
Sherman back to pass. He stands at midfield, surveying the field, fires it over the middle. It's going to be caught. Stoller slips as he tries to cut back to the near side of the field. He'll go down at the 24.
Yeah, but there's a flag on the play in the backfield. There's a good chance this play is coming back.
And the flag lays at the 46-yard line. It's generally in the area of holding. So penalties go both ways, so offsetting penalties there.
So they called pass interference there on the defense, and then a personal foul, hands to the face. You know, that's a penalty you've seen a little bit called more often nowadays, especially with, you know, a lot more increase in passing offenses. Offensive linemen, instead of firing out of their stance, are kind of standing more up and get their hands up where they shouldn't be. But unfortunately, you know, for, you know, Wapak can't catch a break. They finally would have had a 15-yard penalty to back up the Wildcats, and unfortunately, you know, that gets nullified with the defensive pass interference away from the play.
Right. Sherman again back to pass. Good protection. He steps up, fires left side. That one incomplete. Tried to throw it over on the near side to Lombardo. Covered well by Henderson.
Yeah, Henderson was there, and what was also on that play was the pass rush. You know, one of the things that if Kenton has an Achilles heel compared to, you know, this offense had in the past when you had Ben or Matty Mock, is Sherman's not that elusive in the backfield. You know, if you can pressure him and get to him, he's not going to hurt you with, you know, a big-time run.
3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Going to left side and hit almost immediately after making that catch is Sawmiller at the 41-yard line. So a loss on the.
Great play by the first-team WBL linebacker, Zach Smirgy. Had 13 tackles last week, good enough for second in the league. And, you know, they're going to need their leader there to be able to make more plays like that on defense.
3rd down and 9 coming up. Again, Sherman with a lot of time. He lobs it left side, looking for Stoller, and a flag comes down. We'll see which way they throw that one, because it looked like Henderson had the inside on that ball.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough call if he calls it on anybody. I really think that was just 2 guys kind of, you know, trying to position for a ball that was slightly underthrown, and you know, we'll see what they actually do call here.
Here's a look at the replay on it. A lot of contact both ways.
Yeah, even then, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Truthfully, if there's going to be a call, it was a little bit of a pick route is what happened. I was kind of watching it develop. Sawmiller went inside, and then Stoller kind of ran a wheel route and kind of rubbed his guy off his, and there's a little bit of contact. It's one of those gray area plays that every team runs. But, you know, the one thing that this does for Kenton, yeah, it's a big penalty. However, they're probably going to go for it on 4th down if they gain any yards whatsoever, so almost gives them another down to work with. Now, at this distance, if they don't pick up anything, they probably would punt.
They need to get down to the Wapakoneta 32-yard line. Ball spotted at their own 44. Sherman steps up to avoid a sack. Lobs it down the middle of the field, and it's picked off. Stepping in front of that one is Quinn Lottridge, and he's dropped as he gets to the 36-yard line. But a nice step and pick there by Lottridge.
And again, set up by pressure. Shade line with a little bit of pressure caused Sherman to move up in the pocket and get out of his normal routine. And then right there, Lottridge with the 2nd interception on the year in as many weeks. Here you see the replay stepping up and then rolling out and feeling some more pressure. And that caused him to be a little bit late on the ball, and Lottridge was able to step in and make the play. So we'll see if the Redskins will be able to capitalize with this maybe change in momentum.
Yeah, they needed a spark. Morgan under center. Handoff. To the right side, Eaton will take it up for about 5 yards.
5 yards.
Yeah, right there, they're running the sweep, and it looks like, you know, the guard that was pulling maybe could have been hit the guy from the outside and really caused that to be a big play. However, he's coached to kind of look inside first, and then really, you know, we used to call it, you know, BYOB, be your own blocker, because there's always going to be somebody that's not accounted for, and you need to make that guy miss, whether you elude him or run over him.
6 minutes to play first quarter. Handoff, left side. Not a lot there, but up to the 45-yard line. 3-yard pickup, and I believe that was Schmergy on the carry, and it was.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of mentioned in our broadcast last week was the difference from this offensive line this year compared to last year. You know, just that little mush play where last year it might have been no gain or 1 yard. Well, this time they mushed it all the way up for about a 3-4 yard gain to get that 3rd and 1 that they really like to be in.
Well, this is the first manageable 3rd down situation they've come up against tonight. And a conversion here would be huge. Handoff, Henderson right side. He is close to the first down.
Austin Phillips from the Kenton defense was really crashing and almost stopped Henderson at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't get enough of Henderson, who was able to push ahead to move the chains for Wapak.
Morgan under center. He has one receiver wide to the near side right on a first down. Fakes 2 handoffs, and he's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield for a loss. Coming in to make the play, Trevor Downing.
Yeah, Trevor Downing had the interception earlier, and this time he was coming hard, was not fooled. It was his responsibility to come up when he saw a bootleg, and Cody Morgan had absolutely no chance. As you can see here on the bootleg on the replay, he just turned and he immediately had someone in his face, and a great form tackle, you know, went right in the midsection. Absolutely no way that Morgan could have really avoided that. Just a great defensive play by the Wildcats.
Loss of 5 on the sack, 2nd down and 15 at their own 43-yard line. Morgan will work out of the shotgun. We haven't seen him do that a lot tonight. He is back to pass. That ball is slapped at the line of scrimmage.
Austin Phillips, the big 6'4" junior, had his hand up, and I kind of mentioned that, you know, this Kenton defense isn't just Furbush. You know, they got a lot of experience. Like I said, 7 returnees, which Austin Phillips is another one. Jake Hale, I mentioned before, is one. Trevor Downing, Matt Barr, who's an all-league player. You know, a lot of talent.
Morgan rolls out near side. That one's going to be caught close to the first down marker. They'll still be a little bit shy.
And that's going to be just short. Coach Fry going to the bag of trickery. That's something that we've seen, you know, back in the old St. Mary's days. The name of it's escaping me right now, but I remember seeing them win a game versus Salina running that very type of formation. But this brings up, you know, a 4th and manageable now, a 4th and 2, and being down 16-0, you know, might give you a little bit more incentive to go for it, as Coach Fry is going through right now.
13 yards in the completion, and a 4th down and 2 coming up. And motion in the backfield as the senior moved a little early.
Yeah, unfortunately right there. You know, Smurgy went on when it was on 2. And that's going to make it from a 4th and 2 to 4th and 7. We'll see if this changes Coach Fry's plans, and it does as the punt team runs on. And we'll see if we see that other formation. Did come to me there in the last place called the lonesome polecat is what they call it.
Right. Cameron Locke on to kick it away. He'll stand at his own 37-yard line. And he puts the foot into a good kick. No return man back there. It will skip out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So well placed by Locke.
So we'll see if this can change in field position, change the fortunes of the Wapak defense. Again, the positive thing about going against Kenton is Sherman is not very elusive. You're going to find out where he's at. You know, he might be able to sidestep you a little bit, but he's not going to hurt you with a long run. So if you get good initial coverage, you can afford to bring a little bit more pressure and try to get some hits on him, force a bad pass, or maybe get a sack.
So they'll spot the ball at the 9-yard line after the 40-yard punt by Locke. And the Redskin defense has a lot of field behind him. Sherman back to pass, lobs it right side, and that's going to be caught for a first down out across the 20 to the 23-yard line.
And Sherman really kind of spread the ball around a lot this game. Against Coldwater, out of his 23 completions, 13 of them went to Justin Sawmiller, so over half the passes went there. In this game, he's been very, very good about getting the ball in other people's hands.
Fires it over to the near side, and it's going to be caught. Short gain there for Stoller as he gets up across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Stoller's actually been the leading receiver so far here in terms of targets for Sherman and Wildcat offense so far.
3 receivers near side to the left on a 2nd down and 7. And a full start there. Going to back up the Wildcats.
Yeah, kind of first mistake of Stoller today so far. Had that really long kick return. Been very instrumental in putting the drives together so far for Kenton. But this will back him up another 5 yards.
Three to the left. Sherman lobs it out right side. It's caught. Up across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Luke Jackson on the reception. That's at least the 4th different receiver he's connected with tonight.
Yeah, the bubble screen is actually basically their answer to the run game. You know, it's short. They know where it's going to, and it's really dependent on a good block by the other wide receiver.
Sherman back to pass, gets some pressure, but has time, fires it out near side, caught by Sawmiller. He escapes one tackler, moves to the center of the field, and he's going to go down as he gets to the 35-yard line on the Redskins side of the field.
Yeah, Lockridge, who made a great play the last time, this time, missed the tackle, and as soon as you miss the tackle on the All-Stater, Sawmiller, he's going to go for some big yardage. Good job of Smurgy to be able to chase him down.
2:15 left first quarter. 37-yard connection there. Sherman lobs it right side. This one is going to be caught inside the 10-yard line and diving into the end zone for the touchdown. And I believe that was Connor Jones.
Actually, I believe that was Matt Barr again. Matt Barr's 3rd touchdown catch. Unbelievable. What a quarter for him. And, that was kind of their, companion play to the bubble screen where instead of being there to block down, they fake the block down and then just continue up on the seam play or the fly pattern, and it was good for 6 for the Wildcats.
So Sherman to Barr, that's been the connection. This 2-point conversion no good. And a 36-yard touchdown pass, the 3rd of the night for Mr. Barr. 2:08 left first quarter. Kenton with a 22-0 lead. You're watching high school football on Game Base Ohio.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Welcome back to Harmon Field, 22-0. Kenton with the commanding start here, and Matt Barr is having a good start to the night as well. 3 receptions, well, 3 touchdown receptions so far. He's caught passes from Sherman of 11 yards for a touchdown, 33 yards for a touchdown, and 36 yards for a touchdown. This last pass, reception for a touchdown, ended the longest drive of the night for Kenton. A 5-play, 91-yard drive that took all of 1 minute and 13 seconds. So Sherman on the night, 11 of 17 for 194 yards.
Yeah, as weird as it is to say, when you're playing Kenton, field position almost isn't as important as it is against other teams because 90 yards, 60 yards for them, it's not much of a difference.
Lottridge with the return back across the 30 to the 31.
Gets the ball out just past the 30-yard line. The Redskins will take over 1st and 10.
So obviously it's critical that the Redskins start to put a drive together, and not just for them to get back in the game, get some confidence, but in anything, it keeps the Kenton offense off the field.
Right.
And again, we knew Kenton was going to be a very good team, and you know it's not just their offense. Again, their defense has yet to give up a point yet this young season.
Morgan hands it off. To the right side goes Schmerge across the 35-yard line.
Trevor Downing was right there for the initial hit. However, you know, Schmerge has a few pounds on him to say the least, and a lot of strength, is able to bowl him over and to get to almost a 4-yard gain on that play.
2nd down and 6 coming up. Morgan brings the play in from the sideline. Now a minute and a half remaining first quarter. Looked like maybe there was some confusion there in the backfield.
Yeah, the timing was definitely off there. You know, I don't know if that was going to be a called, you know, keeper play from Morgan, and you know, just got, you know, penetration to throw that off, or you know, the halfback's timing was just off of that. Irregardless, you know, it's a negative play that brings up 3rd down and long.
Boy, the Redskins have seen a lot of 3rd down and long so far tonight. And even on the 3rd down and short that they had, a penalty forced them into a 3rd down and long situation.
Yes, it did.
Morgan under center on a 3rd down and 5. He will roll out to the near side. Has some space. Hits Schmerge, who dodges one tackle and falls forward to the 45-yard line and picks up that 1st down.
Yeah, that's a big 1st down pickup. You know, that wasn't an easy pass completion. Had to throw that over with a little bit of touch. And then Schmerge was going to get hit immediately by Lockslogger. As you can see right here, immediately was able to hold on and bounce off and still get a couple extra yards.
That 11-yard completion on 3rd down makes the Redskins 2 out of 5 on 3rd down conversions here tonight. And there's a flag. Looked like a little more motion over there on the far side of the offensive line.
Yeah, that time I believe it was tight end Jared Smith with a little hitch in his stance right there to get a little fast start, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
There was a little bit of motion over there on the Kenton defensive line as well. That may have prompted that false start.
Well, if the referees did deem that, they can call a penalty on the defense there, but at least in that case, they decided that that was not the case, and it backs up Wapak to make a 1st and 15.
13 seconds left first quarter. Here's Henderson going left side. He's going to be hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage and nothing going.
Again, he didn't make the play there, but Furbush's penetration in the middle and the sweep really disrupted that play and kept that from being a positive play because of his penetration.
Well, the Redskins can be happy that this quarter has come to an end. It was all Kenton in the first quarter here tonight at Harmon Field. It's 22-0 as we head to the 2nd quarter. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
22-0 Kenton with the edge as we come back here at Harmon Field to start the second quarter of play. Redskins with the ball facing a 2nd down and 14 from their own 42-yard line.
A lot of times in basketball games, you just can't wait for a quarter to get over, and maybe that was the case here for the Redskins. You know, just let's get that quarter over. Let's start fresh right here. Still 3 quarters left to go. Let's start fresh here.
Morgan will keep it himself. He goes off the right side. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage up near the 46-yard line. And Paul, if the Redskins are able to control the ball in this quarter, they will get the ball to start in the second half. So down those 3 scores that
we got to start with 1.
Right.
You know, before anything, you need to start with 1. And right now, again, the Redskins defense, I mean, they just swarmed on that play right there. There ended up being 4, red helmets right around, the ball carrier, on the tackle.
Morgan will work out of the shotgun. He hands it off to Schmerge, who is met immediately by the Kenton defense. And then Mr. Furbush there to say hello at the 42-yard line.
And Furbush, he's so impressive, but he's almost unblockable. He's been in the backfield basically at will almost anytime that he wants to, and that just disrupts anything that they're trying to do. And there's just not much you can do. As strong and physical a runner as Schmerge is, going east and west a little bit, no one's a match for Furbush in that situation.
Locke will be on to kick it away. It'll be fielded at the 25-yard line, and Sawmill are going to be shut down immediately. A flag comes down at the 40.
More than likely, this is probably going to be some sort of either block in the back or hold, that will back Kenton up a little bit more.
Paul, to this point in the ball game, both teams have attempted the same number of passes. Kenton has attempted 17 passes. They're 11 of 17 for 194. On the other side, the Redskins, 17 attempts, 44 yards. So Kenton getting it done through the air.
Yeah, and obviously that's no surprise, that Kenton is, going to be very pass heavy. They have no running backs, and Sherman's not really much of a run threat. So Kenton's going to just throw the ball a lot. Sherman's going to throw the ball 40-plus times every single game, and that's the way they're going to live and die.
I may have missaid that. That's 17 total plays for the Redskins. So 17 total plays, 44 yards. All of the plays for Kenton have been passes. Sherman back. Pass time, left side. And that ball is caught out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. A fantastic catch.
Yeah, and a great adjustment to the ball. Cameron Locke was just right there in coverage. He might have got his head around just maybe slightly too late, but he was there, and it's a great adjustment by his installer to be able to step in and be able to make that play.
This ball swatted down at the line of scrimmage. Nice play at the line by Corey Crawford.
Crawford again, a good looking sophomore at 6'3", 235 pounds, playing for the Redskins. They're going to need a few more plays like that just to try to slow down this Wildcat attack. Sherman going to the sidelines here.
An equipment problem with one of the officials there?
It's like just tying his shoe, which, they're going to be snapping the ball if you don't stop the play. So it's a good thing that he got that shoe tied and make sure everybody stays safe. It's not just about the players being safe, but the officials, we want them to stay healthy and safe in the ball game as well.
Right. Well, I'm sure that the Redskin defense doesn't mind that break either.
No doubt.
2nd down and 10. Lobbed out to the near side and caught. Not much there for Luke Jackson.
Now Logan Morgan right there on the play, the senior, all over that bubble screen that time. The bubble screen, that's the first time they really neutralized that play so far this game, and brings up a 3rd and long.
2 receivers left, 3 to the near side right. Sherman again out of the shotgun. 10 minutes to play in this half. Sherman with time now. He's going to be hit as he throws. Fires it down the left sideline, and it's incomplete. Overthrew his intended receiver, Sawmiller, near the 15-yard line.
And the late flag being thrown in right there. Sawmiller going with a double move that time. Needed some time for that pattern to develop. Sherman ended up getting hit. The flag's thrown around the 50-yard line, about 5 yards down the field. Not sure exactly what the preliminary call is here.
It's going to be holding against the Redskins.
Okay, if you remember, in high school, it is not an automatic first down with defensive holding. Should be a 10-yard penalty, and on that 3rd and 12, should set up about a 3rd and 2, or actually take that back more closer to a 3rd and 1.
Right. And a timeout going to be taken here by Kenton before they line up for this 3rd down and 1 play. 9:51 remaining in the half. Kenton in command, 22-0. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
This is man's greatest invention, the whole house DVR from TSC. You'll never miss a second of your favorite program again because you can pause the show in one room and play it back in another, even while you're recording it. You watch different shows at the same time and pause, fast forward, and rewind from any set. You can even pause live TV. Man's greatest invention, the whole house DVR from TSC. Just maybe not woman's greatest invention.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select CertainTeed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
Back here at Harmon Field on a 3rd down and 1, we see a rare run play for the Kenton Wildcats, and it looks like they're going to be close to the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be right there. It's going to depend on the spot. We got another penalty flag down.
Well, we've seen a lot of laundry tonight.
Well, it's early in the season. Kenton is leading the Western Buckeye League in penalties, and kind of historically does tend to have a few more penalties in the league.
They had 10 last week.
Yeah, they had 10 last week.
They got a personal foul against the Kenton Wildcats on a 3rd down and 1 play that looked like they had the first down, or it was very close. And that's going to back them up.
Well, it's interesting to see how they're going to rule this. Was it a post-play foul where the play counted? Because if that's the case, was it a first down? Because then it'll be a first down and 10, which apparently is what they're ruling. It was a first down, and it'll be a first down and 10, just back at the 47-yard line.
10-yard penalty after the first down on the play.
Okay, so that puts the Wildcats back in their own side of the field, 47-yard line. Paul, I've always wanted to call football on Sunday, and now we do.
You're
Our
right.
games are available on Fox Lima on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, depending on when you're seeing this game, you might be watching us on the website, GameFaceOhio.com. You might be watching us on the Game Face channel on TSC, or you can be watching us on Fox Lima on Sunday morning as the lead-in to NFL pregame.
Sherman back to pass, has all kinds of time, then overthrows his intended receiver at the 38-yard line, but another flag down back at the 40-yard line. This ball game will be on at 9 a.m. on Sunday, but most times it'll be 10 a.m.
Correct, and that's just because the NFL pregame this opening weekend is going to be a half hour earlier, so they decided to change the start time there.
So set your alarm clock on Sunday, and then of course we're on every night of the week on the TSC network at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, on the Game Face Ohio channel, for those of you with TSC cable, are able to see us 24 hours a day on that channel.
Holding called against both teams. We'll replay first down.
So again, get some offsetting penalties right there, and it's good old-fashioned do-over.
Right. First down and 10. That one Lob left side. Good pickup by Stoller. He's going to get another first down out across the 40 to the 39-yard line.
And Justin Sawmiller with an incredible block right there. And he continued his block, which fired up the Wildcat crowd all the way to the Wildcat sideline. And again, that's how you get those big plays. Your wide receivers taking some pride, including your all-state record-breaking receiver, making plays for his teammates.
This pass wide of his intended receiver, Lombardo, out here on the near side.
Again, Coach Mike Malk in his 31st year here, probably told Sherman, hey, Sawmiller's a great player, but we need to spread the ball around a little bit more. And, he probably talked to Sawmiller and talked about different ways he can contribute to, his teammates' success. And Sawmiller's not that many catches, but has been incredibly important to the success of this offense so far, and not catching the ball.
3 receivers left, 2 to the right. 2nd down and 10. Sherman down the left side. That one is caught by Stoller. Touchdown.
And you just got to respect a play like that. Not many high school players can hit a player in stride like that. Henderson, not that bad at coverage. He was a step behind. But a lot of times in high school football, the quarterback can't put it on a line right there and hit the guy in stride. Grant Sherman is a player that can do that. And because of that, it's yet another touchdown for the Wildcats.
And Sherman with a lot of time to let that play develop. Back to pass for the 2-point conversion, and it is good over to the left side, and another flag down.
Yeah, that's
that breaks a string of 4 plays in a row without a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be a late hit penalty. That with being a 2-point conversion play, not necessary to make the hit in that case.
Taking a look at that replay of that last touchdown pass.
And Sherman is willing to stay in there and take the hit and to deliver a ball perfectly in stride to Colin Stoller, having a huge game himself for the touchdown and with the 2-point conversion. Now a 30-0 game with 9 minutes left to go yet in the second quarter.
We'll take a break here in the second quarter with 9 minutes to play. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
The Kenton Wildcats in command here at Harmon Field by a 30-0 score. Their last drive, which resulted in a 38-yard Sherman to Stoller touchdown pass, covered 72 yards on 8 plays and 1:35. So Sherman off to a good start, Paul.
He sure is. He's 15 for 24 for 268 yards, which coincidentally is the exact same amount of yards he passed last week against Coldwater, but he just did it in 20 less attempts.
Squib kick here, the Redskins, that ball's still loose. And it looks like Kenton may have covered that one at the 25-yard line. And they have.
And that's a break Kenton really didn't need, but not a true onside kick, but a squib kick. Just trying to pin them back, because of the personal foul penalty there from the 45-yard line, just trying to get poor field position. It was not handled by the Redskins, and as you can see in the replay, just not able to kind of come up with it cleanly. And we'll see if we can see what Wildcat jumped on it. Looked like number 32, Seth Kuhlman. That's a junior hopping on that to give the Wildcats tremendous field position again.
Well, and that's something this offense doesn't necessarily need. Pressure here. Sherman is hit as he let go of that one, and he overthrows it into the back of the end zone. Another flag down, this one at the goal line.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this off camera before the game. You know, we're concerned about, from Wapak's standpoint, that young secondary, you know, against kind of this veteran group for Kenton. And, you know, how are they going to respond? And, you know, we're seeing some, you know, good play. And for them, the officials, I'm not sure that's worthy of a flag myself, but for him, he put hands on him and felt that was warranted a flag. And kind of an important item that just happened is Sherman got hit, and he is limping on the sidelines.
Right. Yeah, he took a pretty good pop. You didn't see it there in the replay, but he took a pretty good pop right there at the end of that play. So he's smarting a little bit on the sideline.
So that brings in a new quarterback, number 1, a freshman, Trent Hines.
He will lob it to the back of the end zone, and that ball incomplete.
Well, I tell you what, if
he caught it, it was out of bounds.
If that would have been complete, that would have been a tremendous way. Your first varsity play as a freshman, you know, thrown to the end zone, you know, in quality time, mid-second quarter against a quality opponent. Pretty good looking throw. He put it right where it needed to be. You know, just, you know, they were a little bit too good a field position.
Right. Sherman didn't like watching from the sideline, so he comes back in. Ball at the 12-yard line, out here to the near side. Caught, nice move at the 5, and down to the 2-yard line is Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson put on a little move and shake and bake, be able to get the ball inside close to touchdown territory. Coach Mock put Sherman back out there, but he wanted to protect his quarterback by doing the little double screen. He has been taking quite a few hits on the drop back passes this game.
Again,
First down for Kenton inside the 2.
11-yard completion puts them at the 1-yard line. Sherman back to pass, lobs it left side. That pass incomplete, and this time contact, but no flag.
Yeah, and I think that's
over there on the cover.
I think Henderson just had really good position, so he wasn't going to throw the flag on that. I think Sherman was actually late. He had his receiver open early and just got the ball there a little bit too late and allowed it to be broken up.
So second down and goal, ball at the 1-yard line. 8:21 left in this second quarter. There is a lot of time left in this ball game.
And Kenton with big-time substitution here. We'll see if they kind of go away from, you know, their traditional package, and here they are, you know, with their goal line package.
Handoff, and stacked up at the line of scrimmage is Barr.
Interesting, they're still doing it out of a shotgun, and they do have one wide receiver split out, so they do have a few more options. You know, this is something Kenton has not traditionally been doing since they went to the spread offense. I do remember back in my coaching days, coaching at Van Wert, they did have this in its package, but they very rarely used it just in situations like this. And, you know, I haven't seen it for a while, but Coach Mock went back to the coffers and was able to bring this back out.
Well, same formation here on a third down and goal. They lost a yard on the last possession. It's Barr again. He goes off the right side this time. A better result for Kenton as they get into the end zone again.
Well, a tremendous sidestep by Barr initially because Zach Smergy was in there and almost made the play, but Barr this time is actually able to get his 4th touchdown of the game. This first one on the courtesy of the ground, as you can see him surging ahead there for the touchdown.
Right. And he was actually hit deep in the backfield, like you said.
Back to the traditional spread offense here for the 2-point conversion.
Out to the left side and into the corner of the end zone, so the 2-point conversion is good. And Kenton will stretch their lead out to 38. 7:39 left in the half. You're watching high school football on Game Face Only.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
TSC, part of your community. TSC, it's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
7:39 left in the half here at Harmon Field, and Kenton came to play tonight.
Oh, but no doubt. I'm sure they remember Week 10 last year, where they had a chance to go to the playoffs and would have been a very dangerous team in the playoffs. But Wapak was a very senior-dominated team last year, was able to knock them off. And we also probably should make mention, last time they were here on this field, it was two 9-0 teams battling in Week 10 for the WBL title. And the biggest crowd I've ever seen for a regular season high school game. It was just a tremendous atmosphere in which Kenton was successful in that game, winning 52-32.
Now the Redskins will take the ball as Lottridge fielded that kick at the 24-yard line. His knee was down when he caught that ball, so that's where the Redskins will start it. Morgan will be under center. There's the handoff up the middle. Schmerge will get a yard on the play. It'll bring up a second down and 9.
Well, sometimes you talk about teams or players and you say, they come as advertised. I think Kenton is coming better than advertised. I expected Kenton to look very good, but, they have been tremendous in all facets of the game so far. Their defense is swarming. Their offense is looking virtually unstoppable. Wapak, has it for them just to kind of put some plays together. And this is a good start right here by Henderson.
Henderson to the left side, dives forward. He's going to be close to the first down. It looks like they're going to give it to him.
But even that right there, there's a lot of open space. But in the open field, Matt Barr, who's been making tremendous plays on offense, truthfully, his calling card is defense. Last year he's a first-team WBL player, third-team All-Ohio defender, was a linebacker last year, and then they've moved to a safety position this year.
So with that first down, that gives Wapak just their third first down of the evening. Here's a handoff, Schmerge. He gets tripped up as he gets to the line of scrimmage. He'll dive forward and pick up 4. Paul, you were talking about how effective this Kenton offense has been. We really haven't mentioned Sawmiller all that much. And he was the guy we were kind of looking for to be a big receiving threat.
Yeah, like I said, he's second in Ohio all-time in catches last year. But this time, he's doing a little bit more in the bubble screens, and Sherman's throwing the ball around. But truthfully right now, Wapak, really needs to focus on what they're doing offensively. And, this time with their best play of the night with Schmerge with the big-time run.
Schmerge gets across midfield to the 45-yard line. And here you see him just bowling his way to that first down.
Yeah, best drive of the night so far. The 17-yard run that time for Schmerge, but as long as they're getting positive 3 to 4 yard gains or more, that's what they need to be successful.
Here's Henderson. He goes off the left side. He gets spun down as he gets to the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward and get down to the 42. So a gain of 3 on the first down carry.
Yeah, that time, they escaped, a negative play by just getting past Phillips and got that 3-4 yard gain that they need. Again, as long as they're moving forward, that's what Coach Fry wants to see from this offense. They need to see the positive plays every single play.
Morgan under center. Beside the lone wide out to the right side. Here's the pitch. Schmerge takes it back up the middle. He'll get down to the 35-yard line and close to another Wapakoneta first down. So clearly the best drive the Redskins have put together so far.
Yeah, and that's the first time we've seen that play. Just a little pitch sweep to the fullback Schmerge. A lot of base blocking right there, and Schmerge was able to read the cutback, to get good yardage and bring up that 3rd and 1.
Same formation here. Handoff Eaton. He goes to the right side. He's going to power his way down inside the 35 and picks up the first down.
Yeah, nice job right there by Will Rankin to be able to create, a little bit of a bubble right where they were running to be able to get the push for the first down.
There you see illustrated what Coach Fry was talking about. Eaton with that carry there gave Schmergy a play on the sideline. Normally that's a Zach Schmergy play right there.
You're right.
2 receivers set now, 1 to each side as Morgan drops back to pass. He gets some pressure. He's going to run to the left. Inside the 35, inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. And a nice run by Morgan as he turns into something, what looked like was going to be nothing.
Yeah, and you see a big-time difference between the quarterbacks. Sherman, when he sees pressure, he'll take 1 or 2 steps, but then look to try to still deliver the ball. Morgan, more of an athlete who can hurt you with his legs as well. As soon as he saw pressure, he tucked it and ran and was able to make a positive play.
9th play of the drive coming up here for the Redskins. Morgan under center. He'll keep it himself. He goes off the left side and not much there. He took a pretty good pop as he got to the line of scrimmage.
A nice play there by Travis Downing and also Silas Smith, teaming to be able to make the play. So that second and short, kind of remains a short play, but now it's a 3rd down and 2 at the 24-yard line.
Morgan under center. Handoff, left side, Schmergy fights for the first down and more, down to the 15, make it the 16-yard line. Big conversion there for the Redskins, and points here would be a big shot in the arm.
Yeah, really nice job right there by Blake Fenning. Base blocking on their guys to be able to move the ball. Furbush was actually on that side of defensive end, but they stayed so tight they kept him out of the play.
Morgan will hand off. This time Henderson. He loses the ball, but it'll go out of bounds at about the 12. Gain of 4 on the play.
Yeah, nice stick right there by Matt Barr to be able to make the play, but luckily for Henderson, the ball did kind of go out of bounds. Here.
This one's going to be coming right at you.
Just a great form tackle, shoulder pad right on the helmet. Right on the ball. Be able to pop it out right there. Great shot by our camera guys.
I think that was Justin down there. He was lucky he didn't get hurt. Up the middle of the field, down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Schmergy with the carry. And the Redskin offense finally making an appearance here tonight. This is the style that they use this is the prototypical.
Yeah, this is what they wanted to do from square one. They did not envision to be down 38-0 at the time and getting this together. But long drives, move the chains, but a big 3rd down potential here.
Left side, Schmergy. Not a lot there.
Looks like it's going to be right there, hitting on the spot, and looks like they're going to give him the first down for a 1st and goal.
2:42 left in the half.
So it's going to be really important for their own self-confidence for the Redskins, to stick it in for 6 points right here. Again, the Wildcats have not given up any points from a defense. The only points they gave up last week was a safety.
So the Redskins headed to the line. Now they're back in the huddle.
There seems to be a problem again, with the sidelines, play clock not going, the head official talking to the sideline.
Well, as it turns out, it's a first down. They're going to spot it just inside the 7-yard line. Henderson, Eaton in the backfield, along with Metz. Hand off to the right side. Metz is going to get down inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Keaton Metz, that's his first carry of the year right there. Metz is a junior. It's a pretty common name, a familiar name, I should say. His older brother, Connor Metz, was a standout outside linebacker for the Redskins a few years ago.
Schmergy back in the backfield and with Henderson and Eaton now. Hand off Henderson, left side. He gets down to about the 3. He looked like he had a lane to the end zone, but it got shut off.
Furbush, he's got that closing speed that you just don't normally see. You know, it looks like there was, you know, maybe a little bit of a crease there, but Furbush was there, and that when he made contact, you know, Henderson went down. You know, I've been very impressed with the entire team, but as mentioned, you know, Furbush, you know, he definitely does look like, you know, the real deal.
Murgy checks out as Metz comes back in. Morgan rolls out to the right. He's going to take it himself. Did he get touched? Well, we got it.
Oh, they're going to mark him short.
Oh, wow. He just outside of the end zone, and it'll bring up a 4th and goal.
Yeah, a 4th, and it's got to be inches. You know, we'll kind of see right here, you know, how close he actually got. But, you know, Morgan, you know, in the play fake, tucked it and ran. As we see right here, you know, thought for sure he's going to be able to get in, but again, that swarming defense was able to keep him out, according to the officials.
17th play of the drive here. It's a 4th and goal for the Redskins. Handoff left side, and he got shut down.
Wow.
Boy, the Kenton defense really stepped up there.
Yeah, and I believe that was Eaton right there on the dive play, which has been so successful for them this entire drive to be able to move the chains. As we see the replay right there, just kind of closing down the outside tackler. I didn't really see who it was, but whoever's engaged with Fenning was able to really collapse down and stop Eaton in his tracks. And Wapak, all of that long drive, tremendous 3rd down pickups, you know, all for naught being stopped by the Kenton defense.
Well, Sherman was sacked for a safety last week. We'll see if the Redskins can do the same to him here. He throws it out to the left side. It's caught back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, and usually Kenton goes really fast, but I would expect them here just kind of, you know, let the clock go and be pretty content to go in halftime with the current score.
Under 30 seconds to play in a half. Sherman fires it out to the left side, and a 1st down and a little bit more out near the 15-yard line. It's Sawmiller with the reception.
And I would like to point out that I was incredibly wrong on that as they snapped the ball with 22 seconds left on the play clock.
Well, you're only off by 22 seconds. So now 17 seconds left here in the half. That pass out onto the right side, incomplete. He was looking for Connor Jones over there. That stops the clock with 12 seconds left. Boy, disappointing half of football for the Redskins, and then a heartbreaker there at the goal line. This one lobbed out into the flats, out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. And Jackson with the reception. That should be, now there'll be 3 seconds left here after they move the chains.
And we'll see, it looks like Kenton is content for left to run out.
Well, Kenton will take a sizable lead into the locker room here at halftime at Harmon Field, 38-0, Kenton on top. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Welcome to TSC Touchdown Friday, brought to you by TSC. G.A. Windsor, Owen Kitchen and Bath, Frost Roofing, and by the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Halftime here at Harmon Field after a lopsided first half that put Kenton on top of the Redskins by a score of 38-0. And Paul, we saw what Kenton wanted to do from the very beginning of this contest. They executed their offense, that spread offense, effectively, putting together rapid scoring drives. And the Redskins got behind early and were not able to really put anything productive together in this first half.
Yeah, really everything from the opening kickoff to the goal line stand at the end of the second quarter. Everything has gone Kenton's way so far this game.
The statistics are as lopsided as the scoreboard. Let's go ahead and take a look at those.
Yeah, it's a little bit closer on some of the stats because of Wapak's last drive of 75 yards. First downs, Kenton leads 14-7. Overall yards are 306 to 115. However, if you take away that 75-yard drive, Wapak only had 40 yards of total offense going into that drive.
The Redskins had one turnover in the first half. That was a fumble that they lost. They did a number of things that were that caused them problems in the first half, from giving Kenton a short field to work with on a couple of drives, and that's something that the Redskins Kenton didn't need the help. The Redskins with the two turnovers helped them out.
Yeah, and they had a couple other penalties, after touchdowns, so it led to the short kickoffs. The one other impressive stat that I would say that Kenton had was their average per play of 9 yards. Just showing, how they're just consistently getting large chunks of yards against this normally stout Redskin defense.
Redskins put together a 75-yard drive, as you mentioned, in the second quarter, but could not get it into the end zone. They will get the ball to start the second half, and they will look to put something together offensively with that first possession. Let's take a look at some individual numbers from the first half.
Yeah, really the only one that's worth looking at right now is the passing of Grant Sherman. 19 for 31 for 303 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's just having kind of a special type of game, and he's very capable of that. He's very capable of having, games that makes Peyton Manning blush. If we recall last year against Shawnee, he had a 684-yard passing game along with a national record of 9 touchdowns. Not sure if we're going to see that tonight, and definitely this Redskin faithful hopes not.
Well, he did throw 2 interceptions last week, and this Kenton team did put the ball on the ground 3 times. They didn't lose any of those fumbles, but they did put the ball on the ground, and that's something that the Redskins are going to have to hope for in the second half, as to kind of create some turnovers. Well, we are just about set for the start of the second half here at Harmon Field. The Redskins will get the ball to start that second half, and we'll have it for you after this break. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select certainteed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
Back here at Harmon Field for the start of the second half, the Redskins have a hole to crawl out of. They trail 38-0. They will get the ball to start this second half. And we will get the Redskin offense on the field here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back. I'm sure that was not a pleasant halftime locker room, with Coach Fry in there. Obviously, Kenton is the real deal. They're a very good football team, but the Redskins definitely can show some improvement in this half. with execution on their offensive end, and being able to finally, get the ball into the end zone, which they came so close to at the end of that first half. And then defensively, see what type of adjustments they can do to slow down this onslaught from Kenton.
Well, then their most effective thing will be to keep their offense on the field. This kick will hit on the far side of the field and square out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So a penalty flag will go up, and the Redskins will have good field position to start their first possession of the second half. The problem I see for the Redskins, Paul, is a time factor. They're not set up to score quickly. So, and this Kenton offense obviously is. How do they overcome that?
Well, I'm not sure if they can, realistically and play their game, and at this stage of the season, week 2, the WBL opener, it's about, still trying to find yourself and executing, what you need to execute. And, I would be surprised to see Wapak go away from their game plan coming in, and they just need to get better at what is going to be successful for them for the whole season.
Henderson stuffed at the 30-yard line by Furbush. 5-yard loss on the opening play of the second half. Not what they were looking for there.
No, and I think almost every Kenton opponent will not have an answer for Furbush.
Mm-hmm. Well, like you said before the game, he plays all over the field. Morgan will go to the far side. He's going to pick up a yard as he pushes his way across the 30-yard line to the 31.
Yeah, and that time I actually decided to focus on Furbush. I didn't really watch any other play. And this time he disrupted the play by not really even being involved in the play. He's lined up at left defensive end that time and just crashed down hard. And he's just so fast off the ball, so big, so strong. He's just almost unblockable.
Well, and you'll see that when you have a kid that's going to play at a Division I school. He is going to stand out head and shoulders above players, most other players.
And right on cue.
There he is.
Just coming off the side again. And, Dan, I've coached against Division I players. They had a player by the name of Cornell years ago I coached against from Kenton who's very good too. He's about as good as I've seen, playing at this level on the defensive side of the ball. I'm just very impressed with him.
3 and out for the Redskins. Locke will be back to kick it away. He'll stand at his own 13-yard line. Gets the foot into it. Pretty good kick. It will hit at the 41 and roll down inside the 30-yard line where it's picked up by Sawmiller, and he is dropped right there at the 28-yard line. So Kenton's offense will come back out onto the field.
And a lot of the same old that we saw in the first half, 3 and out by the Kenton defense, a lot of disruptive plays. Furbush was very starring in that time, but, it's been a team effort defensively for the Wildcats. He's just kind of the leading man, if you will. But really, it's that whole defense, him, Barr, they're just a really solid unit.
Sherman with time. Fires it out near side, and it's going to be caught by Jones after the 45-yard line.
And again, as mentioned before, Sherman, just really, making it so tough to defend, not just focusing on Sawmiller as he has done maybe in the past, everyone really getting a lot of touches here.
This time he finds Sawmiller out to the left side. Another first down, this one out to the 39-yard line. So after a 16-yard pass completion in the last play, he picks up 13 more here. And the chains continue to move. Sherman fires it out there near side. It'll be Jackson up across the 35 to the 34-yard line.
And I'm not sure you could snap the ball any faster after the ball gets set.
They were not even done setting the chains on the far side of the field when he hiked that.
You talk about playing and fast forward. The Kenton Wildcats is just really controlling the tempo of this ball game.
Second down. Here's a pass out. Staller inside the 30-yard line. He'll be pulled down by the face mask at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, a very obvious and flagrant foul right there by Logan Martin. You don't really want to see that at any level of football, let alone high school football. An easy flag right there, and really don't like to see that.
All right. Well, and that's all about frustration.
It is, and rightfully so. Coming out of the game right now, try to get his head back, and obviously when you're getting beat, sometimes frustration comes out, and you really have to be able to learn how to overcome some adversity and play within yourself and still do things the right way.
Well, they'll march that ball down to the 12-yard line, so it'll be first down and 10 from the Redskin 12. Actually, looks like they have it at the 11. Now the Wildcats have not taken their foot off the pedal here. They start the second half with another strong drive. Their longest touchdown drive of the first half took 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Talking about some fast break offense football.
Here's the pass down to the 1-yard line, incomplete. Good coverage there. He was looking for Jones, and Lottridge got there at the same time as the ball.
Yeah, and actually that was actually a really good pass. There was decent coverage there, so Sherman, instead of leading him, kind of made him, kind of stop where he was, and if he could have cradled it and held on, he would have had the ball right there at about the 1-yard line. Still kind of hard to find criticism on that incompletion on Sherman.
Second down and 10. Sherman has his 3 wide to the left. Getting some heat, he fires it into the end zone and over the head of Jackson, incomplete.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. That's kind of the first real misfire I can recall, where they were not on the same page. And, so much of this offense is kind of reading what the defense does. But, Kenton plays so much football. Sherman was actually in Sports Illustrated this week, as one of the faces in the crowd. And, one of the reasons why they did that is because they won a national 7-on-7 tournament earlier this summer.
Sherman out of the gun. Looks near side, throws it, end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Barr, and it went off his hands. If Barr would have hauled that one in, it would have been his 5th touchdown tonight.
Yeah, and 4th on the reception, and just maybe slightly a little bit late on that pass. But again, his receiver was able to get his hands on the ball, and if you think back to the first half, the first drive of the first half when it was 0-0, a pretty similar situation where the Redskins kind of dug in a similar situation on a 4th and 10 in this case. But Sherman was able to kind of sit back there and eventually find Barr in the back of the end zone.
Well, on a 4th down and 10 at the 11-yard line, Sherman will get pressure. He will fire it left side, and he has a man in the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, this time it's Sawmiller. Sawmiller for the first time, his favorite target, his first time he's caught a touchdown in this game. Again, he had a touchdown last week against Coldwater, so it's his 2nd touchdown of the year. And again, last year, he had 16 touchdowns receiving. So, just again, Kenton, even though you kind of get to that 4th down and to hold them against most teams, they might line up for a field goal. Kenton stays on the attack, and they're able to capitalize.
They will again go for 2. Not sure they even have anybody listed as a kicker on their roster. Over to the right side, and it will be caught by Jones, in for the 2-point conversion. So with 8:34 left in our 3rd quarter of play, the Kenton Wildcats running wild with a 46-0 lead. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
This is man's greatest invention, the Whole House DVR from TSC. You'll never miss a second of your favorite program again because you can pause the show in one room and play it back in another, even while you're recording it. You watch different shows at the same time and pause, fast forward, and rewind from any set. You can even pause live TV. Man's greatest invention, the Whole House DVR from TSC. Just maybe not woman's greatest invention.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
An 8-play, 71-yard drive, taking 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's the first possession of the second half for the Kenton Wildcats, and it ended with an 11-yard touchdown pass. Sherman to Sawmiller. And the ensuing kickoff fielded at the 37-yard line. So I think that was Eaton that made that grab.
Actually, I think on the reception or on the return there was Jared Smith, and actually Jared Ramsey for Kenton with the big-time hit to take him down immediately.
So the ball at 37, and that's where the Redskins will take over for their second possession here in the second half. Morgan will work out of the shotgun. He has 3 receivers over here to the near side. He's going to run it, takes it to the right side, and he's going to be spun down as he gets to the 39-yard line.
And Kenton has a lot of team speed because they were faking the bubble screen here on the near side, had trips, and then Morgan, a very good, fast athlete, running to the right-hand side, and they just end up swarming and giving him no room to run.
Short gain on the play brings up a 2nd down and 8. Now back to the standard formation. Henderson lost the ball, Schmerge lost the ball, got a favorable bounce, scooped it up and went for another 4 yards.
Yeah, first break really of the night of Wapak. Ball was loose, and luckily enough comes right back to him and able to make a positive play out of it. Brings up a 3rd and reasonable here with about 3.5.
Ball at the 44-yard line.
And Wapak, a respectable 5 for 11 on 3rd down conversion so far this game.
Morgan rolling out to the right. He's got all kinds of pressure. Lobs it up the right side, incomplete, intended for Henderson at the 50-yard line.
Again, just that team speed and closing speed that time from Trevor Downing, the junior, just laid a lick on Cody Morgan, who's walking just a little gingerly after that hit. Play action pass right here, rolling to the right. Thought he might have had a man in the flat initially, didn't like what he saw, and he just took a shot.
Yeah, Morgan he had the receiver open. He had to worry about fighting for his life first. Back to pass. He rolls out to the near side. Got some pressure. Here's Furbush. Drops him back at the 36-yard line.
And Furbush originally, kind of stayed back, but then as soon as Morgan started to move a little bit, he went into attack mode right here. I don't know if you'll see Furbush until later, but as soon as he started running, that's when Furbush decides to attack, and that's where you see Morgan realize, I can't go this way, and Furbush is just too quick and big, you're not getting away from him.
And that play on a 4th down and 3 will give Kenton the ball back at the 36-yard line. Whistles and a flag before this play gets started. And a false delay of game against Kenton.
That is not a penalty you would ever expect to see against this offense.
Right. Well, they can blame it on the defense for not getting off the field fast enough. So that pushes them back out to the 41-yard line. 1st down and 15. Still 7 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
And this time taking a little bit of time to get into really what they want to do. Truthfully, as bad as it sounds, a 5-yard penalty on 1st down probably won't really affect this team a whole lot.
There hasn't been a whole lot that has slowed this offense tonight. That pass over the middle intended for Sawmiller, incomplete. Led him a little bit too much there.
Intended for Sawmiller.
We talked about this, before the game off the air, but as we see the replay here, Mike Mock really needs to be credited for, in this area, popularizing the spread offense. He started doing this well before, it was trendy to do it. Now a lot of teams, from around here incorporates it as their sole offense, or at least as a part of their offense. And, he's been doing this type of offense for over 15 years, where it's almost entirely passing the football, and it's had just an incredible amount of success.
Johansson with that reception. goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line, so a 3rd down and 6 coming up. Sherman fires to the near side. This play is going to be shut down as Jones makes the catch at the 27-yard line.
This will bring up a 4th down and about 1. As we see Kenton getting lined up right away, Wapak, scrambling to kind of get, set up themselves.
And a flag comes down on the far side of the field. Some motion on the defensive line for the Redskins.
Yeah, fortunately, Thomas Shaneline, kind of one of the veteran returnees, went on the hard count by Sherman, possibly thinking they were going to do kind of a direct, snap running up with the quarterback, on the 4th and short. And unfortunately, him jumping off sides gives them a free 1st down.
Sherman lobs it left. And a flag comes down as this play moves up close to the 15-yard line.
Sherman's pass complete to Soho.
And yet another flag down.
Flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness, number 10, defense.
And a foul is going to go against the Redskins.
And this is at least the 3rd personal foul on the Wapak Redskins. And with everything else going the way it's going, Coach Fry can't be happy about, that trend.
Right. Personal foul penalties tend to pile up in these 46-0 ball games. But that's the 2nd one on Martin in this half. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Sherman lobbing right, incomplete. Lombardo was the intended receiver over there. They overthrew it. And a flag down at the 10-yard line.
Ineligible receiver downfield, this time on Kenton. So, both teams getting flagged quite a bit right here. Like I talked earlier in the game, Kenton came in the game leading the league in penalties, obviously very early in the season. Wapak actually had the tie for least amount of penalties coming into the game in the Western Buckeye League. And, the way things are changing, I think that's going to change with Wapak kind of moving up a little bit.
Right. Not the honor you're vying for. Sherman again with the hard snap count, and again movement on the far side.
Well, this time they're going to call it on the offense. So this time they kind of felt that
receivers over there may have moved a little bit.
So again, things can get ugly at times, early in the season, but also, during, blowout games, which quite frankly, this is one of them. Hopefully we get this game kind of cleaned up.
There's a pass out in the flats on the near side, caught down inside the 15-yard line to the 11 is Lombardo.
Angelo Lombardo, brought down by Lottridge. 2nd down, Kenton.
So 2nd down and goal coming up the ball at the 11-yard line. Here's another look at it.
By the way, and that's by my count, the 7th different receiver that's caught passes for Kenton between Jones, Slate Johansson, Colin Stoller, Luke Jackson, Lombardo, and Barr.
Pass over the middle, that one caught. And another quick touchdown. That's Stoller with the 11-yard reception.
And again, Stoller's been pretty good on the slant pattern so far this game and having a really good game. And I believe that's his 2nd touchdown reception of the game. As you see right there on the slant pattern, found that crease and just, again, Kenton just rolling along. A little bit different here on this 2-point conversion, opting to start on the left-hand hash.
Sherman with time, into the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was trying to connect with Lombardo for the 2-point conversion. So the 2-point fails. And with 5:31 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Kenton 52, the Redskins nothing. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
high-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
.531 left third quarter. Kenton with precision putting together another scoring drive. 6 plays, 36 yards, 1 minute 34 seconds off the clock, an 11-yard pass from Sherman to Stoller. And it gives them a 52-0 lead. Here's a shorter kick, and it'll be returned up across the 35 to the 40-yard line.
And I do have one stat in which we're pretty much even on, and that is penalties. Both teams now have 9 penalties. Kenton has 85 penalty yards, and Wapak has 81 penalty yards. Again, neither coach is going to be really happy with that, but especially, Coach Fry, he wants to see more discipline from his team. If things are going bad for you, you need to still be able to execute what you're supposed to execute. You still need to be able to, represent yourself in a positive manner. And if things aren't going your way, sometimes your true character is being tested. And, that's definitely what he wants to be able to see in this situation. He still wants to see improvement in his team.
Henderson with a 5-yard carry off the left side on a first down, and another penalty flag comes out.
Yeah, this one is one you don't see very often, but they're calling it's a chop block on the defense. What happens at times is defenders at the high school level will basically dive at pulling blockers to basically create a pileup, and that's illegal, and that's actually a point of emphasis at times for player safety. You don't really see that at the college or high school level very often. I've seen it called a handful of times at the high school level.
Here's the handoff, left side. That's Martin up across the 40, down to the 36-yard line on a first down carry. He gets about 4. I believe that's the first time Martin's carried the ball tonight.
And Wapak into Kenton territory where they haven't been a whole lot so far today. Again, even if they're not going to end up winning this game, it would do wonders for them to be able to put a drive together and finish off with points.
Schmergy bowls his way down to the 30-yard line. Should have the first down for the Redskins on that 6-yard carry. Matt Barr with the tackle. He's had a productive evening.
He's been everywhere. Two-way player, two-way standout player. As we've mentioned, 4 touchdowns. And again, his calling card is really on the defensive side of the ball.
Morgan, handoff. Left side, Schmergy. He'll get down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, Seth Kuhlman right there to be able to make the play for Kenton, but not after the first down yardage was made by the Redskins. And a good, nice-looking drive being put together here.
Posada wide. He's the lone wide out on the far side of the field. Here's the handoff up the middle. And it'll be Henderson, Eaton, down to the 22-yard line.
A nice little burst right there between, the guard and center gap right there. Sometimes that's what you might have to do against this big physical front of Kenton. Try to get them with some speed themselves before they can really, show their strength and size.
Here's Eaton again to the right side now. He'll dive forward to the 20-yard line. He'll be a little bit short of the first down, about a yard, maybe 2.
And nice mush right there by the pulling guards Harrison and Rankin to be able to get some good yardage there for Wapak.
So a 3rd down and 2 coming up. Under 3 minutes to play now, 3rd quarter. Another handoff. This time looked like Eaton. No, Henderson, excuse me. He will pick up the first down.
Yeah, and Jake Hale was there for the play. And there's a lot of beef on that side of the ball in attack. Hale weighing 280 pounds, and he was lined up over Blake Fenning, 285 pounds, as well as tight end Ethan Saunders, who's 6'1", 260, who I can affectionately call, as a former tight end, a wide tackle.
Handoff, Henderson to the right side, stacked up as he got to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a couple of yards, and a lot of movement after the play was whistled dead there.
Yeah, Silas Smith right there for the play with an exclamation point right there. Referee deemed that it was okay, so that's what we'll go with. It was okay to be able to make sure that he got pushed backwards and the play was over. So
kind of confusing with all the laundry that we've seen tonight. Morgan, handoff, left side, down to the 10-yard line. Henderson with the carry. That was pretty well executed. Henderson did a good job to pick up positive yards on that.
Yeah, inside trap play, and we've seen a couple different times, 47, Austin Phillips, just being a fingernail away from making some additional plays in the backfield for Kenton. Not like, obviously they've been pretty successful defensively anyway, but they're just even that much closer to being that much more dominant.
Mergy bounces off one tackle. He'll spin up to the 10-yard line, but it looks like he's still going to be a yard short. 4th down coming up for the Skins.
Yeah, Lautenschlager right there coming from the safety position, the senior, to be able to force a 4th down.
This will be the 10th play of the drive for the Redskins. They line up with one wide to the right. And Morgan going to keep it himself. He's going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage. And the Redskins will turn it over on downs.
Yeah, they tried to fool with the trend. They tried to fool the Wildcats with the trend breaker by faking the dive play, which they've been kind of running on short yardage. But their best player, we apologize for the camera right there, but not fooled it out with the 2 standouts for them, Barr and Furbush, right there to be able to take care of Morgan to snuff out that drive.
Here's a look at the replay on that.
Again, just faking the dive up the middle, and then we see Barr and Furbush be able to there, and Hale as well, another returning player, kind of cleaning up, again, to snuff out another drive that was in the red zone for the Redskins.
Morgan's got to feel like every time he looks up, Furbush is standing there. Sherman, excuse me, that's not Sherman. They brought in the backup, the freshman, Heights, Trent Heights.
Trent Heights.
He had one play in the first half that was very nearly a touchdown pass.
Yeah, and that one actually was a nice looking ball, but there's a little bit of confusion there in terms of his receivers. Both Luke Jackson and Connor Jones kind of occupying the same area, and that's not usually what you want to get out of your receivers. And looking at the play clock and the game clock, it looks like this is going to be going to the end of this quarter.
So Kenton will let the 3rd quarter expire here. They have a commanding 52-0 lead here after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back with the final frame. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just call on TSC. Part of your community. TSC. It's as easy as it can be.
Telephone, TV, internet too. We make it all so easy for you. Locally owned, fast service and more. We've got what you're looking for.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Back here for the start of the fourth quarter, 52-0, the Kenton Wildcats in command. And the freshman Heights at the quarterback spot. He is going to run it himself. Up the middle of the field to the 30. And brought down as he gets to the 33-yard line.
And Coach Maw kind of deciding that, a pretty comfortable lead. Let's see what this freshman can do. Don't have a lot of scouting report on him. We've heard a buzz on Trent Heights just a little bit. Obviously, just judging by that, it's going to be a little bit quicker and shiftier than Sherman. Obviously not nearly as big. Sherman 6'5", 220, and Heights is only 5'8", 150.
Well, he showed his running ability there with a 12-yard scamper, and we did not see Sherman attempt the run in the first half. Out to the right side, a flag comes down in the backfield.
Yeah, that's going to be another personal foul penalty on the Redskins. Smirgy hit Heights enough after the pass where it's a pretty easy roughing the passer call.
We'll see if we can get a look at the penalty play here. Smirgy coming in.
Yeah, at least 2 steps. Definitely not necessary to be able to make the hit in that case. So giving Kenton a free 15 yards, which is yardage they frankly don't need.
Right. They are over 400 yards passing here tonight, the Kenton Wildcats.
And they play Coldwater, which has turned out to be just a great opening game for both teams, as both teams have enjoyed a lot of playoff success. But people might have been surprised by the score. Not that Kenton won, but that it was low scoring for both teams. 22-2, and Sherman only had 268 yards. I think that just really speaks for how good both Coldwater and Kenton's defense is.
Right, because there were 66 offensive plays in that game for Kenton, 44 pass attempts for Sherman, and he ended up with the same. The same amount of yards in the first 2 quarters here as he did in that entire game.
Oh, with 9 minutes left in the second quarter, he had 268 yards.
Well, that incomplete pass brings up a 2nd down and 10. Heights back there, fires it right side. That one incomplete. Looked like a very similar play to the one previous to that as he was trying to connect with Connor Jones.
Yeah, and we're seeing a little, freshman growing pains right here. His first varsity game, getting a chance to go against, Wapak's first-team defense, playing with the first-team offense. Although we see a lot of new receiver faces in there, but the first-team line is in there. Let's talk about Wapak just for a second, because it's easy to talk about Kenton because they're obviously, looking to be one of the best teams in the Western Buckeye League. Let's not sleep on Wapakoneta. They're going to be, still a very solid, good team in the Western Buckeye League, but it's going to be really important to see, how they're able to respond to, taking the licking that they're getting in this game.
Right, yeah, the response this coming week, and they have not an easy game coming up next Friday either. That's the Elida coming to town.
Yeah, the Elida Bulldogs, pretty strong team with a big win over the Delta St. John's Blue Jays last week, with a strong defense with themselves. We'll kind of see what, the Redskins can do bouncing ahead to next week.
Well, a 4th and 2 coming up after the run by Heights. So Heights clearly going to be a little bit more of a runner. His pass over to the right side is going to be another Kenton first down. I believe that was Jones on the receiving end, and it was.
Heights pass complete to Jones.
So this doesn't bode well for Kenton opponents either, because Heights looks like he's been pretty sharp throwing the ball. Not nearly as sharp as Sherman, but he is a freshman, and he can run a little bit better.
Yeah, and he's not going to be dependent on being the man until starting next year. So 2014 is where teams really need to be concerned with him because Sherman looked pretty darn sharp for the 3 quarters he played in this game.
That's a strong pass out to the left side, caught by Johansson. They had some mustard on that throw.
Yeah, Johansson, is one of the first team players. We are seeing a couple other receivers out there, 18 and 19, River Oates and Mitchell Sawmiller are some other newer players that we're seeing out there for Kenton. But again, their first team offensive line, who we don't mention a whole lot, but returning starters, 54, Logan Nichols, 51, that center, Chad Shark, right tackle Marcus Rhodes, 55, are all returning starters on this offense that returned 6 of them.
Heights will run it again. He goes off the right side, inside the 25, down to the 21-yard line. He's got pretty good speed.
Yeah, this is what you saw a little bit more with, Matty Mock when they were running the show here at quarterback for his father, Mike Mock. Some called draws. And, one of the things that really made him an exciting high school football player, wasn't just his arm and the draws. It was the elongating plays, and if no one was open, be able to tuck it and run it, and then start to tuck and run it, and then all of a sudden pull up as you come up as defender and be able to throw a 30-yard rope, for first downs. Kenton's had some very fun players to watch over the years.
Heights lobs it out left side, incomplete. Intended for Johansson in the corner of the end zone. Under 9 minutes to play here in the game. Paul looking ahead to Elida a little bit. The Redskins are going to see another spread offense next week. Elida runs something similar to this, right?
Yeah, as we kind of mentioned, it's kind of an offense that's taken over, this area. It's a nice play right there by the Redskins.
Oates with the reception there.
Yeah, Court Miracle with the play right there, the sophomore. As we see, a few more younger players going out there for the Redskins. So by playing Bell Fountain, playing this team, they're not really in their base set, against these teams. Maybe when they start playing some of the other teams in the Western Buckeye League, they'll get the traditional, look, for Coach Patterson's defense. But, you just can't play your regular package, against teams that are always going to put 4 or 5 receivers out every play.
3rd down and 16. Heights going to run it, and he is going to be stopped. Stopped in the backfield for a loss. Getting in there is Court Miracle.
Second play in a row that time, the sophomore getting, making the most of his opportunity on the field.
So that brings up a 4th down and 23. I guess, if you're a kid that can kick the ball and you go to Kenton, you better stick to soccer. They're not interested in having you on the football team.
It's a pretty good thing to point out right there, Dan. Because even in this situation, 4th and 23 from the 34, looks like they're going to go.
Heights with 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. He throws it out to the right side. It's caught, but well short of the first down. And brought down to the 25-yard line is Jones after the reception. So a turnover on downs for Kenton, and the Redskin offense will come back out onto the field.
So against the freshman quarterback, still it's nice of the Redskins to finally be able to get a stop. Get something to kind of build on from this game, because so far there hasn't been a whole lot of positives to take from this game.
Morgan brings the offense to the line of scrimmage, and let's see what they're going to take a timeout here. I believe Kenton has taken a timeout here with 7:22 left in the final quarter. We'll take a break as well. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select CertainTeed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
Combine internet, telephone, and cable, and what do you get? Big savings. That's right. With TSC's bundling package, Emerge, you can combine your high-speed internet, telephone, and cable and save lots of money. Watch the convenience emerge, watch the great service emerge, and watch your savings emerge. So call today and bundle all of your services with the local company you know and trust, TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Back here in the fourth quarter, Redskins take over after a turnover on downs by Kenton. And a run up the middle across the 30-yard line to the 31, and that is Eaton.
Yeah, and there's a reason why Coach Monk called that timeout, Dan, and that's basically just to allow his varsity defense to get an ovation from the home crowd that made this trip from Hardin County because they played a whale of a game.
And we have a new quarterback in there for the Redskins. That's Aaron Huffman. He had the handoff there, and I believe that was Eaton up the middle for the first down.
And Dan, just talk a little bit more about Kenton because this is probably the only time we're going to see them in our broadcasting.
Right.
You know, haven't seen obviously all the teams in the Western Buckeye League yet, but if they're going to play like this, I'd have a hard time seeing many teams in the WBL be able to hang with this team.
Right. Nice run off the right side by Cameron Locke as he picks up a first down and more into Wildcat territory down to the 43-yard line.
And the Redskins have been into Wildcat territory. You know, the one thing they haven't done is finish off those drives. You know, you still like to be able to see them be able to do that. And starting with this 19-yard run by Cameron Locke's a good start.
Handoff left side. I think it was Eaton with the carry. He's going to get inside the 40 to the 38.
Yeah, Will Prater, the sophomore, with a nice tackle right there. As soon as he made contact, you know, took him straight down to the ground.
Huffman, the quarterback, is a sophomore, 6'3", 165. Here's the handoff. Locke to the near side. He's across the 30. He's going to scamper down the near sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown. So the Redskins get a 39-yard run from Cameron Locke to break up the shutout.
Yeah, those are the first points scored on the Kenton Wildcats defense this year, albeit come against their second team defense. But right now the Redskins will take it. A nice little cut there, and Locke basically goes untouched until right there at the 1-yard line into the end zone for the touchdown.
I think it was safe to say that he was in at that point. Extra point by Heingardner is up and good. With 5:49 left in the game, the Redskins good on the board. They trail 52-7. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
5:49 left in our game. 39-yard scamper by Cameron Locke, the lone touchdown here for the Redskins tonight, but a bright spot late in this game. Cameron looked pretty good. That was his second carry on that drive, and both of them went for extended yards.
Yeah, Locke getting a lot of playing time for a sophomore. Actually lettered last year as a freshman. Plays a lot on the defensive end, get his chance on offense, was able to deliver with 6.
Kickoff return bobbled at the 5-yard line. It'll be a short return back out to the 13-yard line, and that's where Kenton will take over offensively.
And Locke kind of doing it all. Just scored the touchdown, then just made, the nice torn tackle down at the 15-yard line on special teams.
Field position has not really been much of a factor for this Kenton offense. They've played with the short field. They've put together a 91-yard touchdown drive, 36-yard touchdown drive, 71 yards, 72, 25, 67, 30 yards. So they have scored from all points tonight.
Yeah, when Sherman and the crew's out there, it's similar to when Matty Mock was running the show or Ben Mock was running the show, where when they're throwing deep and hitting big plays, there's just not a big difference between scoring a 40-yard touchdown and scoring a 50-yard touchdown, or just 40-yard plays, 30-yard plays. When you get in large chunks, you can make up for bad field position. When you're a team that's really focused on moving the chains, like most normal offenses are,
right?
Field position is of the utmost importance.
Well, when you talk about normal now, this spread offense has almost become the norm now.
Yeah, but no one executes it like Kenton does,
right?
Except for maybe Coldwater, but they don't even run something that as specialized as this. So Kenton is just very, very good at what they do. Against normal teams that even run the spread, I would still think that field position is an extraordinarily big part of the game.
Right.
And especially for this Wapakoneta Redskins, field position generally, if they're going to be good in games, field position is going to be a big part of the game. Ball control is going to be a big part of the game.
So a 3rd down and 10 coming up. Ball at the 15-yard line, and I think ball might have been loose there.
Yeah, and the Redskins did come up with that. So ball bouncing fortuitous way for the Redskins as they get an opportunity deep in Kenton territory.
Yep, that ball, low snap, went off the foot of Heights, and Redskins right there to pounce on it.
That is number 25, Dylan Keel, sophomore, Johnny on the spot up there to be able to make the play to get the team for his the ball for his team.
So Huffman will bring his team to the line of scrimmage. Handoff right side, and down inside the 10-yard line to the 9 is Cockerell.
Well, you don't like the circumstances, but you always kind of like to get some of your younger guys some experience, under the varsity lights, and the young Redskins kind of taking advantage of their opportunity.
Here's Miracle going left side. He is going to be hit and dropped in the backfield just beyond the 15-yard line.
A nice play there by 68 David Reisinger, a 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore for the Wildcats.
They actually spot that one at the 14. So a 3rd down and 11 coming up. 4 minutes to play in this game. Huffman under center. He's going to roll out, getting a chance to pass. Fires it to the right side and overthrows his intended receiver. He was trying to hook up with Miracle at the goal line. I want to remind you our broadcasts are available on TSC's Game Face Ohio Network every night this week at 8 o'clock, and then also available on Sunday mornings. This week it'll be at 9 a.m. on Fox Lima. Normally on Sundays it'll be at 10 a.m.
So start your football Sunday with Game Face Ohio rebroadcast, then settle in and watch some NFL.
Huffman with a nice run on the far sideline, gets knocked out of bounds right at the stick. We'll see if they give him the 1st down. Looks like he got enough for the first. Nice run by Huffman.
Well, I'm not sure where they spotted it, if it is enough for the 1st down.
Nope. It was not. Another big stop by Kenton, so they will take over 1st down and 10 at their own 4-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was a a fortuitous spot for the Redskins, but whatever the case is, it's Kenton ball, and I believe the third time that the Redskins have been stopped, inside the 15-yard line in this game.
Should also mention, Paul, that Game Face Ohio is on Facebook. You can connect with us that way. If you like the Facebook page, you'll get updates as far as what's upcoming with Game Face Ohio. And then we have a YouTube channel as well, so all of our games, all of our broadcasts are available on YouTube for you to watch at your leisure. Fumble on the play.
Yeah, but
at
this
the
time
5-yard, looked like Kenton got it back.
Yeah, immediately called with the 2 fingers up, which indicate that there's no change in possession. It's still second down.
Looked like it was Will Prater that jumped on that fumble. We'll get another look here.
I didn't get a chance to see who really caused that fumble, but it was a nice form tackle. Hands went in and knocked it right out on the wrap-up.
Heights to the right side. He's going to be stopped, sacked for the safety. So for the second week in a row, a Kenton quarterback has been sacked for a safety.
Well, Kenton can talk about something that they want to work on. Not too many teams have given up safeties in back-to-back weeks, but they haven't done a whole lot wrong. But this time it looked like number 5, Jared Cockrell, was the one that went in and got the quarterback wrapped up in the end zone. So Trent Heights, gives 2 points up to the opponents there on the safety.
That comes with 3:01 remaining in our game. So Kenton will have to kick it away.
So again, this might be one of the games, unfortunately you don't like to say it, but you might not want to mention this game. This game might be better forgotten for Wapak as much as anything. How much are you really going to learn from this? That as much as X and O stuff that you're watching the film, I think Coach Fry is really going to try to talk to his team about staying disciplined. Getting beat is one thing. Getting 5, 6 personal foul flags thrown against you is another.
Right.
And they can definitely be a good team. Going into the season, even though they lost a lot to graduation, Kenton, OG, Wapak, these teams are kind of talked about, being some of the better teams in the Western Buckeye League. And, Wapak still can. It's just on this night, Kenton was by far the best team.
Well, and they don't have time to dwell on this because they have another formidable opponent coming in next Friday. So you take a look at this tape, you dig a big hole and you bury it, and then you get ready for a Elida. Here's a nice return up the middle of the field across the 45 and into Kenton territory to the 43-yard line. And was that Miracle on the return? I didn't get the number on it. Miracle with the return back to the 43-yard line. Well, we should take a moment to thank all of the guys out on the field that are doing all the camera work tonight. Those guys always do a good job, and back out in the truck. A ball loose, and looks like Cockrell able to recover that one. That's the second nice hop that the Redskins have got on a fumble tonight. I want to thank AJ for helping us out with the stats tonight and keeping us updated on the Reds score. He does a good job of that. Handoff, Cockrell to the right, down to the 32. That's a first down for the Skins.
As much as we want to compliment how good AJ has done so forth, some of us would rather know the Indian score.
That's part of my responsibility. They're winning, by the way, so that's good. Another flag.
Quite frankly, though, that's the first flag we've had in a while. Especially that second and third quarter, there are flags all over the place.
Right.
But, you know, you have some younger guys in right now, not as experienced. You know, you're bound to see a little bit more mistakes, which we've seen with some of the fumbles.
We had a question earlier today, Paul, about how to get a copy of the broadcast, and those are available at the website, gamefaceohio.com/shop. So if you're interested in getting a copy, now this one tonight might not sell very many copies, but
Might and Kenton.
Might and Kenton, you're right.
And again, Kenton just looking like, you know, a dominant team. You know, great individual players, great team players. And here we got a touchdown.
Huffman able to show off the arm a little bit, connecting with Miracle at the goal line for the touchdown.
Yeah, Miracle made a couple plays on defense, is rewarded on the offensive end, run the little seam route, and Huffman able to connect with him on a touchdown pass, the second touchdown for the Redskins this fourth quarter by this squad.
Nice strong throw. Miracle got behind the defense, slides into the end zone.
And we have a different place kicker for this attempt.
Right. And he's not on the roster. Oh, there he is, Alex Gornell. 28 yards on the connection between Huffman and Miracle. Gets the Redskins on the board for a second time here in the fourth quarter. Under 2 minutes to play in our game. The Kenton Wildcats still in command, 52-16. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
This is man's greatest invention, the Whole House DVR from TSC. You'll never miss a second of your favorite program again because you can pause the show in one room and play it back in another, even while you're recording it. You watch different shows at the same time and pause, fast forward, and rewind from any set. You can even pause live TV. Man's greatest invention, the Whole House DVR from TSC. Just maybe not woman's greatest invention.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter of our ball game tonight. Kenton in command, 52-16. Paul, the upcoming schedule for Kenton, they are back home next week, right?
Yeah, they Ben started on the road with the first 2 games with Coldwater and Wapak, 2 tough tests, and then they return home for St. Mary's, Shawnee, and then Ottawa Glandorf.
This one fielded inside the 10, bobbled a little bit again, got out across the 25 and up to the 29-yard line. So that's where Kenton will bring their offense back out onto the field. For the Redskins, they have another home game next week. We talked about Elida, and then they go on the road for their first road game of the season, and that's over in Bath, correct?
Correct. To where they start, their first 3 games are at home, then they go away for Bath, then they play their 4th home game in week 5 against Salina before they end the season with 4 out of 5 on the road. So kind of a quirk in the schedule here for the Redskins.
Right, so after Salina on the 27th, they won't be back home again until the 18th when they host St. Mary's. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned Salina. Salina is actually could be a surprise team, you know, this year in the Western Buckeye League as well.
So Kenton, penalty on the play. They were marched back there.
So with the
Sorry,
kneel down
he took
on
a
the
kneel
play.
down. My bad. Excuse me. You look away for a minute and you miss something.
So I believe this is Kenton's version of the victory formation. Still in the shotgun with 4 receivers.
Right.
But they do have the 1 running back and back.
And that's the 3rd quarterback tonight for Kenton. I believe that is number 15.
Yep.
Number 15, Contreras. So he'll get into the final 2 minutes of this game. Now just 30 seconds left in our contest. Student section is in elderly garb tonight. They did Hawaiian theme last week. And I think they got a rascal down there. Wheelchair, some walkers over that way. Not much to celebrate on that end of the field tonight as the final seconds tick off the clock here at Harmon Field. And the Kenton Wildcats will improve to 2-0 and send this Redskin team to their first loss of the season and gets their WBL schedule off to an 0-1 mark, which is not where they wanted to be, but well-executed game tonight for the Kenton Wildcats. They come away with the big victory. We'll come back and wrap this one up for you. The final score here tonight at Harmon Field, it's the Kenton Wildcats 52 and the Wapakoneta Redskins 16. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
High-speed internet.
TSC offers 5 high-speed internet packages, and we have one that's just right for you, no matter how much or how little you use the internet.
24/7 free local technical support, and if you require a service call, you'll be pleased to know that we keep our appointments.
Bundle your high-speed internet with your phone and cable and save big money with our Emerge plan.
Ask about high-speed internet from TSC today.
Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Who do I call?
Since 1946, home and business owners have trusted Frost Roofing to help make the best roofing decision for their home building and budget.
Do you guarantee your work?
With an industry-leading 50-year labor and materials guarantee on select certainteed shingles, Frost Roofing has you covered.
So, what if I decide to move?
Frost will transfer this incredible warranty to the new owners, increasing the value of your home.
Church, home, or business, Frost Roofing offers you the comfort of knowing your roofing system is guaranteed by a professional roofing contractor.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
(52-16) your final score here at Harmon Field tonight as the Kenton Wildcats improve to 2-0, win their double WBL season opener. The Redskins fall in their opener to the WBL schedule. An impressive performance by the Kenton Wildcats tonight. They did everything right.
Oh, they certainly did, and you don't really know who to talk about, but just because of the big plays with the touchdowns on offense, Matt Barr has to be really talked about. He scored, 3 touchdowns receiving, 1 rushing, made all kinds of plays on the defense. Obviously, a lot of other people made a lot of plays as well, but Matt Barr, really did a tremendous job. We're kind of talking about off camera, Furbush. As much as I hate to say it as an Ohio State fan, he looks like the real deal going to Michigan.
Right.
He just, is a man playing out there with his speed and with his size, and again, those are just two of the more important cogs of that defense. But that Kenton first team defense, just looks really, really strong.
Right. Well, statistics, Paul. Obviously, a lot of yards through the air for Kenton tonight.
Yeah, certainly. Kenton ended up playing two quarterbacks, seeing a lot of time. With Sherman playing the first 3 quarters, and Heights playing primarily the entire 4th quarter. First downs, Kenton had 25 to Wapak's 15. Overall passing, Kenton combined for 413 yards. Wapak countered with 210 yards on the ground. Overall, Kenton ended up with 425 total yards. Wapak with 262 yards. The average gain per play went from 9 yards a play from Kenton's standpoint down to 6.3, so that got a little bit better. Penalties, again, ended up being a pretty big deal for both teams, as both ended up with 11 penalties. Kenton with 104 yards, 95 yards for Wapak. So both teams, still have some things to kind of clean up. Over to individual numbers, we just want to kind of look at Sherman's individual numbers. Passing the ball, he was 29 for 45 for 389 yards and 6 touchdowns. Again, a very, very strong performance from Sherman. Sawmiller had a big game. Colin Stoller had a really big game. And obviously, Matt Barr, the all-around game that we mentioned already for the Kenton Wildcats.
Well, this Kenton offense, their longest possession, their longest scoring drive tonight was 1 minute and 35 seconds. So they struck quickly and efficiently through the whole ball game, and they did it early and often.
Yeah, very fast break type of approach to offense. They're up on the ball, ready to snap the ball as soon as the play clock is set and the ball is whistled in for play. So, Kenton's going to be obviously a team that's a very strong candidate to win the Western Buckeye League and could be a dangerous team in Division IV in the playoffs coming down the road.
Well, the Kenton Wildcats will move on, and the Redskins will be back here next week on Friday night, and we will be here as well as Elida comes to town. Another tough test for this Redskins team, and they will look to improve on their 1-1 mark after they fall tonight to the Kenton Wildcats. Wildcats improved to 2-0 with their win here on the road, and we want to thank the crew and everybody that helped the broadcast get on the air tonight. AJ for taking care of our stats. And that will wrap things up here from Harmon Field. For Paul Sadler, I'm Dan Hirn. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Again, the final score was the Kenton Wildcats 52 and the Wapakoneta Redskins 16. You've been watching high school football on Game Face Ohio. We'll take you out with a look at highlights from tonight's ball game, and we hope to see you back here next week. Good night, everybody.